welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek preview. Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, Championship action. So let's get straight into it. And we're starting off with potentially the biggest game of the season. In fact it is, of course it is. Arsenal versus Manchester City on Wednesday. And yeah, I'm so hyped by this. Not a great time for Arsenal to play it. They've had a bit of a blip recently. Lost 2 of the last 3 in all competitions, drew the other one. Man City flying, comfortable win over Aston Villa, but did have that defeat at Spurs. But I just think the home crowd at Arsenal will get behind them so much, and I can see them putting off a short upset. Still not convinced by Man City, longer than 2-1. But moving on then to the Champions League, AC Milan taking on Tottenham at the San Siro. And yeah, this is a really interesting game because AC Milan in the league, they're not having a great time, I think it's fair to say. They lost 4 of the last 5, but did get a win against Torino last time out. But Tottenham, inconsistent as well. Obviously got hammered by Leicester, which was a really poor result. So they'll be looking to rebound from that. But yeah, I can see it being a bit of a stalemate between two kind of struggling sides at the moment. 1-1. Moving on then to Borussia Dortmund as they take on Chelsea. Chelsea away from home. This is going to be a really tough match for them because obviously Borussia Dortmund flying at the moment. They've won pretty much every game since the new year. In fact, they have won every game since New Year. And Chelsea struggling at the moment. Can't buy a win. New players still taking time to integrate. Yeah, I feel like this could be a really, really tough night for Chelsea. And they need to be competitive as they bring it back to Stamford Bridge, I think. But I'm going to say 1-0 Dortmund. But moving on then to potentially, the biggest European game this week. And it's not in the Champions League, it's in Europa League. Barcelona taking on Manchester United. This is a really, really interesting game, isn't it? Barcelona coming into this one flying under Xavi. Unbeaten since they played Bayern. Winning pretty much all of those games. But Manchester United, they're in a great moment too. But I feel like the new camp, it's going to be a step too much for Manchester United. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Barca. Moving on then to the Championship games. And we've got full fixtures in the Championship this week. Starting off with Coventry taking on Millwall at the Ricoh Arena. And Coventry coming into this one, inconsistent form, I think is the way to describe it. Not in a great moment at the moment, but Millwall done well in the last 3, really still pushing on for a playoff place in the top 5 at the moment. It's a big game for Millwall, but Coventry needs to get back on track as well. At home, I'm going to say they're going to draw here. Moving on into Norwich as they take on Hull at Carrow Road. And Norwich, they've lost the last 2, and after a great start under David Wagner, it's kind of unfortunate to say, but it has petered out. A really poor defeat at Bristol City last time out. But Hull, they're doing well under Leon Rossini. Good point away at Stoke, and they're up into 11th now, only 5 points of the playoffs. They're really pushing for that. But Norwich needs to get back in the playoff race as well. A home game, which one you really feel like they have to win. I'm going to say it'll be 2-1 to Norwich. Moving on then to QPR as they take on Sunderland at Loftus Road. And Neil Critchley, he's really not enjoying a good time at QPR, as he hasn't won a game since the 17th of December. They're really struggling at the moment. But taking on the Sunderland side, who got a win over Reading last time out. But before that, their form hasn't been too great. But they're still in and around playoff contention in 7th place. QPR really needs to get a win. Sunderland, doing pretty well at the moment. It's kind of a hard one to call, but I'm going to say 1-1 here. Tough one to call. But moving on into Birmingham as they take on Cardiff at St Andrews. And Birmingham, I was getting a bit worried with them. I thought they were really on a bad dip at the moment. It seems to be recovered. 2 wins on the trot and 2 really good wins away at Swansea and home to West Brom. Taking on a Cardiff side with Lamucci having very little effect. And they haven't won a league game since November, I don't think, away at Sunderland. That kind of shows how much they're struggling at the moment. And I think Birmingham will have too much on here. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to Burnley as they take on Watford at Turf Moor. And like we said so much this season, Burnley just seems to be unstoppable at the moment. Playing so well. Another comfortable win over the weekend. And Watford currently sitting in 6th, but their form isn't great at the moment. I do feel like Slaven Bilic could come under pressure. We know what the Potso family are like. I think this could be another win for Burnley to kind of confound the misery on Watford moving more. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on into Reading as they take on Rotherham at the Medeski. This is an interesting game. Rotherham kind of the draw specialists at the moment. They've drawn the last 3. Reading not doing too well either. They're winless since the 7th of January. 2-0 win over Watford. But yeah, I mean, Reading need a win here. Rotherham going well at the moment, kind of just getting enough points to stay clear of the relegation zone. But yeah, this is a big game for both of them to kind of stay out of trouble. But at home, I'm going to say Reading will get the win. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on into Bristol City as they take on Wigan at Ashton Gate. And yeah, Bristol City coming into this one on a really, really solid one, moving up the table up into 13th now. So yeah, they're in a good run at the moment. But taking on a Wigan side, you've got that crucial win over Huddersfield last time out. How important could that be for their season? And they'll coming into this one, subsequently, you'd think on some big momentum. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see which way this one goes. But I'm going to say Bristol City, even though they don't really need it as much as Wigan, I'm going to say they're going to get it. They're in good form at the moment. But moving on into Preston as they take on Luton at Deepdale. And yeah, Preston coming into this one, 3 losses in a trot. It's not going well for them. Luton kind of tailed off after a really good run. Poor result, Grimsby, obviously. And then, yeah, maybe only get a point at Coventry would have been slightly disappointed. But, still in 4th, still doing a great job, Rob Edwards. So, yeah, they'll be looking to bounce back to winning ways here against an out-of-form Preston side, and I think they will do. I'm going to say it'll be 2-1. Moving on then to Stoke and Huddersfield as they take each other on at the Bet365 Stadium. And yeah, Stoke coming into this one, obviously not in the best of form, I think it's fair to say, just 1 point from the last 2, but they did pick up 2 wins before that, so that will give them some confidence. But yeah, I mean, Huddersfield, they're not in great form either. Neil Warnock cross-pointed, great appointment. The man can't help himself, can he? But he's not going to be in charge for this one. That's going to be a major advantage for Stoke. I'm going to say they're going to have a 1-0 win. Moving on then to Swansea as they take on Blackpool at the Liberty Stadium. And yeah, Swansea coming into this one, on a decent, on a poor run of form, and yeah, I mean, it's not going well for them, is it? They've lost the last 2, really, really poor defeats as well, considering the scenarios. Blackpool, they've drawn the last 2, but, they were both winnable games, and, for Mick McCarthy, I think he would have wanted more from that. And Swansea at home here, I'm going to say they have too much from them. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on into Sheffield United as they take on Middlesbrough at Bramall Lane. And yes, Sheffield United coming to this one on the back of 2 wins on the trot, flying towards promotion, back to the Premier League. And yeah, taking on a Middlesbrough side though, they're also on great form ever since Michael Carrick's come over, and they're in 3rd. And yeah, if Middlesbrough can win this, it's down to 7 points. You never know, maybe that could put some pressure on Sheffield United, but I don't think that will be the case. I think Blades at home maybe will have a bit too much, so I'm going to say 1-0, and yeah, they'll romp on towards promotion. Moving on then to West Brom as they take on Blackburn at the Hawthorns. And yeah, this is a big game in the race for the playoffs. Both of these teams are outside the playoffs at the moment, but only 1 and 2 points respectively. West Brom will be looking to recover from that really poor defeat to Birmingham. And yeah, they've lost 3 of the last 4 in all comps, so they'll be looking to get a result back. But yeah, Blackburn kind of draw specialists at the moment, and they need to turn those into wins to stay in the playoff contention. But West Brom at home, I'm going to say 2-1. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks for watching. To like, share, subscribe, don't subscribe down below. Find the show for daily football news. Subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.